smart governance, right? Okay, based on the word smart, if according to the objective, we're supposed to have something like specific, measurable, reachable, and also achievable, right? But in terms of when we couple with the governance words, then everything is about trust and also ethical on doing something to give value to the government and also the citizens. At the end of the day, in the smart governance, we're supposed to focus on the value and then what we can achieve at the end of the specific information of a citizen delivery that we want to improve our nation. That's my simple quotes for the smart governance.
Thank you. Over to you, Lee. You are working on a pilot project now with the Parliament Malaysia.
Hello.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And perhaps you can share what it is and how does that relate to smart governance.
Right. I think there are two main parts to what we build with Parliament AI, right? With Parliament Malaysia. Essentially, we are helping them to build an AI that helps to transcribe all the parliamentary proceedings and eventually make those accessible via an AI to the mass public. So now when we're building two key modules of Parliament AI, essentially it helps in both. One is with the smart government side and how we look at the operations of the government, make things a lot more efficient than it was before. Instead of manually transcribing, now it's AI generated that we achieve like 89% of efficiency improvement. And then with smart governance is then a more outward looking example that we are putting out with our chat hands, an AI that opens up parliaments to you. What are the key discussion points? What are the debates? What are the stands for different parties, etc. And that then is a smart governance that actually brings together the public, encouraging or strengthening the democratic process, encouraging citizen engagements, so that collectively everyone sort of form a better governance together.
You mentioned about 82%. What do you call
efficiency improvement?
Efficiency improvement. Can you explain how did we get to that 82%?
Yeah, correct. So how we are working on with Parliament, essentially, we started off with really understanding the current pinpoints that they are facing, right? So the way Parliament works today is that there's a huge team of reporters, sub-editors, and editors. What they have to do is manually transcribe all the parliamentary proceedings. And the statistics that we got, every 10 minutes of the parliamentary proceedings, it takes them roughly about an hour. After that, then it's still a few levels of review because it's an important document before they even publish it. So how we're doing it differently is that we are putting in all the past 20,000 hours of recordings of Parliament proceedings, train it with our AI algorithms. So now the recordings still go on as usual, but then what's different is the transcript or the handset is now automatically generated, and the reporters will just review it. And that's how we are seeing from an hour is now down to just 3 to 4 minutes.
Right. Kamalis, from your point of view, where does smart governance come in this picture?
I think it's very crucial to ensure, I mean, I don't know how the system, it sounds really exciting to have 82% in terms of efficiency, but crucially, we have to ask questions around, and I think in this case, we have to look at the human oversight. So where does that human in the loop come in the process, how that data is being basically utilized, where the data is being stored. I presume that it's not, it's public information and not information that cannot be shared. So there's lots of elements around ensuring trust in the system that's being used. And this includes really looking at building ethical oversights or human oversight to allow people to review things that are being developed. We see this a lot in the private sector, right? So for efficiency purposes, AI is being used almost on, it's almost standard now that if you have a Teams call with a private company, there's a Teams kind of recorder that does your meeting minutes automatically. And so what we have found is there are still errors in such a system. And so there has to be someone that oversees this error and makes sure that we can correct it in time. There's also the question, maybe not for this use case, but for other use cases around what information can be public, what is private information, where do you draw the kind of data privacy boundary or line, and how that's being managed by the AI systems. So we have had many situations with the companies that we work with where by accident people share or put information on ChatGPT which they shouldn't, right? And once it's in there, it's too late. And so having this sort of the human governance element, addressing that is very important.
Now, there are two critical items now. One is data, the other one is trust. So I'm going to go to Dr. Rusnita. In terms of data, government has tons of data. Yeah. So what's the work within JDN today in managing this data, cutting across all ministries and agencies, and how do we ensure that we have the right data in place?
All right. This is directly involved with my division, which is the Digital Government Division, which is dealing with all the data initiative. So we are covering from the stage of capturing the data, processing the data, sharing, and also publish as one of the value for the delivery services. So according to this approach, we also try to to leverage out and manage this data using whole of government approach, which is we segregate the data towards our 6 sectors, which is social, infrastructure, digital, and etc. So from here, actually, we already placing and determine 57 repository, which is consists of the data that we can integrate and then share with the others. However, with this kind of determination and also encouragement from the one of others division, we also find that this information and data also placing distributed, but we must make sure it's connected securely using our current platform, which is we call MyGDX. And then for your information, for this approach with MyGDX, we also emphasize on the security parts. So we ensure the pipeline is secure, and then we ensure the governance between the ecosystem also secure, and then the approach to share is towards API first. And then for your information also, in JDN we also establish our own guideline to ensure all the participants, all the governance, all the data steward inside the ecosystem must follow the guideline, which is already launched early in this year. We call it Garis Panduan Pengabdian Data AI Sektor Awam early this year. And within this ethical and also guideline, we hope everyone in the ecosystem supposed to play their own role to ensure that everything in the data repository and also within the pipeline is secure and used responsibility. Everyone must play their own accountability, and then they also need to know that we also governed by Data Sharing Act, Akta 864, which is everyone supposed to know that if they done something leakage between the data repository and also the ecosystem, they need to responsible and need to know that there are a penalty for that. And in the same time, in JDI, we also try to encourage people using data and also AI by introducing our platform AI as a service, which is we combine all the cloud provider services, which is AWS, Google, Microsoft, and also our own local partner Telecom, to connect with the citizen and also the employees and also all the industries to start with something, to start with the policy development and also data sharing within the platform. So from there, actually, JDN is try to encourage and monitor all the perspective, especially on the policy making, the data platform itself, the governance, and also how to deal with it